1059 The Region, everywhere you are.
Well, now's the time. 2023 is coming to a close, and I, like a lot of you, probably want to know what's going to be happening and what's in store for 2024. Rhyme was intended there. And joining me now is psychic, medium, intuition expert Lynn Nicholls. How are you?
I'm great. I am freezing, but I'm otherwise okay.
Thank you so much for joining me. And we did actually reach out to our listeners to provide some questions for you as well. But let's start off looking at the big picture. What do you think is going to be the big event that happens in 2024, if there are any?
Oh, good. I think 24, I think we're still in a 2020 hangover, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of lingering things. The big issue is kind of a morbid one that I got the first time I got your email, and it was almost, I don't know if it's an explosion or there's something in a location that keeps a lot of already dead bodies, so not on their way to be, not people being killed, but dead bodies. So a morgue, a crematorium, a church with relics in the basement, just huge, massive explosion or fire. That's what I keep seeing. And February, I'm not sure of the location. I don't think it's Canada, but major crime event. Those are the two big ones. And they're not great, but if you want good, we can always talk about Taylor Swift.
Yes, that was going to be my next thing. I want to know, are wedding bells going to be ringing for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Oh, I'm sure eventually. It's like I don't follow Taylor or Travis very closely by any means. I love what's going on with them. I love the romance they have. I do not feel like there's a song that's going to be written about him. So that's good
Oh,
news. Yeah. So I
that's
think they may have just connected wedding bells. I'm not entirely sure. But the good thing I saw about Taylor Swift is preceded by kind of a bad event in the farming or agricultural area. And I don't know if it's tornadoes. I don't know. Something wipes out a bunch of agriculture and she comes to the rescue.
Oh, you know what? I think that's actually very possible because I feel like one thing about Taylor Swift, no matter how famous she is, I feel, super down to earth. And she has given back so much, especially after everything that happened in Brazil with a fan passing away waiting to get into her concert. She donated money to the family, she dedicated a show to her. So I definitely see her doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lynn, before we get back into some celebrity possibilities, I want to ask about the weather as well, because here in York Region, it's been a green/brown holiday season. And
Mhm.
me, with my meteorological expertise, I'm over here predicting that we could have a big snowstorm in either like the end of January or in February. Do you think I'm right?
I'm totally on board with your prediction. Yeah, it's not going to be the blizzard of 77 again, but it will be wet and heavy and really messy, really, really messy.
Ah, we love that,
Very.
don't we? And I want to get to some of our listener questions. Once again, thank you to all of our listeners for engaging with us on Instagram at the 905 region. Chandeep from Markham, she is asking if the prices of houses is going to get better in 2024.
Okay, that's a good question because I do get it a lot, and a lot of my clients are realtors, and they're down in the dumps because the housing market stinks. And it's just funny, she asked, and you asked me because it just occurred to me a few days ago. Oh my goodness, in the last several readings I did with individual people about buying a house, interest rates, I kept saying, wait till June, July, wait till June, July. So I think that's a better time. I am certainly no realtor or expert in that, but I kept thinking, wait till June, July. So see what happens then.
All right, we're keeping our fingers crossed for summer 2024. And Jennifer, also from Markham, I don't know if you can share this information because you might want to keep it to yourself, but she's asking what the winning Lotto 649 numbers are.
Oh, if I knew them, I wouldn't share them. But like you said, I don't do lotteries, sports, and I generally don't do weather. But I don't know. But what I have told people, I have told about 5 people in my career that they're going to win the lottery, and they did. I didn't get the numbers, but they did.
Okay.
And one quick strategy is if you're not supposed to win the lottery. Like most people aren't, but what I say to people is don't think, well, lottery, lottery, lottery. That whole law of attraction may not work that way, but think, okay, get me the money, please, because money can come from a variety of sources. Lottery is one weirdly random source.
Interesting. Very good point. Very good point. So I think a lot of people need to rely on their own intuition as well.
Absolutely. And what I have also told people, and a few people tested it out, they didn't win millions, but they won a few good bucks, maybe a few hundred. I said, pay attention to the numbers you repeatedly see. And they're weird. Like, why are you seeing 43 all of a sudden? Why are you seeing 26 all of a sudden? Mental note, give it a go next time you feel like buying a lottery ticket. And some of them did. And some of them tried it and it worked out.
That is really, really great advice. And I know you said you don't do sports, but do you see anything big happening for our Toronto Maple Leafs or our Toronto Raptors?
Okay, I did write this down because as oh, if you ask me, are the Leafs going to win the cup? And please, nobody lynch me because my answer will be no. Um, but what did come up is how I do it is I picture the Stanley Cup and I picture it is a blue and white uniform holding it. So that was a no, but it went back in time. And there's either a defenseman or a wing, right or left. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm going to use this term, crushed. And I think it's off the ice. So he may be out of commission. So I don't know if it's an accident. I don't know if it's a motor vehicle collision. Crushed, totally survivable. Just will need to recover from it.
Okay, good to know.
I hope
Interesting.
I'm wrong. and and the
And
Raptors, if you wanted to know about the
yes, of
Raptors,
course, always.
I, okay, I kind of, as much as I love them, and want them to win, I get a mediocre type of feeling. However, in 2 years, they're going to acquire what I would call like a giant of a human with incredible reflexes and strength. And the phrase, he just came out of nowhere, is going to be bandied about.
Okay, all right. So I'm taking that as in 2 years we're gonna have another championship in Toronto. That's what
Let's
I'm
do it.
taking.
Let's do it, Toronto. Yes.
One more listener question. Abira from Stouffville. This may be a little specific. She's asking if she's going to get promoted at work this year, but maybe we can generalize that a little bit because, things have been difficult in workplaces. A lot of cutbacks have been happening. So is it possible for people to actually get those promotions?
For her specifically, I would say April is a good time. August may also be another bigger opportunity. You got to get creative in the workplace. Luckily, I don't have a normal job, so I can promote myself, and that's pretty cool. Um, I'm thinking the workplace will be a little slow, tip as normal in January and February. And then we're going back to the summer, like a May, June, July thing for when people should start looking a big window, looking for a different job, looking for a new position.
Hey, all right, good job advice. And okay, let's go back to the celebrity news now. We talked about Taylor Swift a little bit. What about the royals? I have to ask about them every year. I mean, I know there's a lot of tension between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family. Is that going to continue, or do you see a reconciliation in the future?
No, I think it's absolutely going to continue. I think it will get worse. And the downfall that kind of breaks my heart here, because I think Harry's like the cutest fella, and I think he's going to be burdened with a lot of serious mental health issues,
Ah,
which I wish his family would come to the rescue. I don't think he will, and I don't know if King Charles is going to come to his rescue kind of in a passive aggressive way and put into place a lot of mental health programs over in the UK, because I do see him putting a lot of new programming into place. So he's going to do a lot in the next few years. I'm just worried about King Charles with fluid buildup. So that concerns me.
okay, all right. We will definitely keep an eye out for that. And Lynn, before I let you go, what do you have like a major message for 2024 for our listeners?
Oh, you know what? There is, for everyone listening, I would tell them that the best way to predict your future is to create it yourself. You listen to your intuition, you follow it, and you create your best life. based on what's best for you. And that's the best thing I could do is, and I'm not saying everybody's out for themselves, but if everybody listens to their gut, trusts their gut, you will create your own best world, and then we'll have a lot of little great worlds.
100%. I love that advice so much. And I've gone through your Instagram page and your social media pages as well. And you do have a lot of positive advice to share with your followers as well. So if we want to follow you and maybe follow up with you, get a reading, where can we go?
So I would suggest you go to my website, lynnnicholls.com, and then click on Facebook or Instagram, whichever, or both, whichever your choice is, only because there are so many scammers that make my page look like it's their page, but they make it look like mine. So the safest way is go to lynnnicholls.com and then pop onto Facebook or Instagram, and I will see you there live every Tuesday for free live readings and a lot of intuition tips and a lot of nonsense.
I mean, what would we be without a little bit of nonsense?
Absolutely. If you can't have fun, what can you have?
Exactly. Lynn, thank you so much for all of the insight, and we wish you all the best in 2024.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.